Hey everybody, welcome to Terrence Books and Beyond, day 28 of VEDUS, and the beginning of William Shakespeare's The Jedi Doth Return, which is the last play of the original trilogy, so after this one, I've only got one more left, but let's focus on this one for now. The play is off to a strong start, with all the characterization, dialogue, and verse construction just as consistently good as it was in the previous installments. One thing I really like about the first act is that this first act is the entirety of the Tatooine sequence, and I do really like the whole thing with Jabba the Hutt at the beginning of the movie, but it does take a bit, and because we're able to condense it in this, it means we now have 4 full acts to devote to all the character development and finishing the arcs and all the big climactic battles at the end. We don't have to worry about them being rushed. On the flip side, I do have one gripe about this section, but it's not really something that Desher could have helped, because it's the fact that there are so many untranslated alien conversations in here. Yes, at some point 3PO becomes Jabba's translator and he can translate for the Hutt, but quite consistently we get things between Jabba and Bib who neither of whom speak English, and so it's just gibberish that you might as well skip. And then even when 3PO is translating, you're just skipping all of Jabba's lines, and so any characterization Jabba could have had in the play itself, it's not gonna work. I mean, it would probably work in the staged version, but just reading the script, it all falls flat. This has come up before, but it's never been a bigger issue than the whole Jabba's palace sequence. But hey, that sequence is done, like I said before, so I don't think it'll be as big a problem for the rest of the play. Then there's today's certain point of view story, which was The Baptist by Nnedi Okorafor, and this one takes place from the perspective of the Dianaga, which is the trash squid that attacked our heroes when they were stuck in the trash compactor. But thanks to the story, there's so much more going on behind those scenes than just a squid attacking our heroes. So the squid, her name actually is Omi, and she was kidnapped from her planet by, I think, bounty hunters essentially. She was kidnapped by them so that she could be used in the compactor for the Death Star. And her race is sentient, but they're very low tech. They have no concept of space or machines or any of that kind of stuff. So when she is kidnapped, she freaks out because she has no idea what's going on. And then throughout the story, she basically communes directly with the Force. Like, she is Force sensitive, and she can tell that there is this entity just beyond her reach that is trying to talk to her and giving her visions and stuff. It shows her a vision of the Death Star exploding, so she immediately knows that she is going to die in flames, essentially. But then there's also times where the dark side contacts her, and that's the thing where it's like she escapes from captivity at some point, and she just goes completely ballistic on a group of stormtroopers that try to recapture her, and that's like the dark side communing with her, and it really freaks her out a little bit when she gets back into her container. Anyways, eventually our heroes get into the compactor, and she does not actually attack them, but something kind of forces her to grab at them and drag Luke underwater, and essentially what she does is she says she's baptizing him, and that she has sensed this dark aura around him, and she kind of removes this influence of the dark side from Luke. Like, she saw this lingering badness around him that probably got passed down from Anakin, let's be real, and she was able to pull that off and possibly help him resist all those other times where he could have fallen to the dark side later in the original trilogy. So it gives this whole brand new scope to everything in that scene, and like Luke's history and what could have happened to him had he not encountered Omi. Plus, Omi herself is a really great, well-developed character, and I always love when these shorter stories are able to develop characters so well in the limited time frames they have. So the fact that I was able to connect with her and sympathize with her, and she's a baby trash squid, that was really something. And then even at the end, when she's in the middle of the Death Star being destroyed, I felt sad for her, but I was also like, it kind of works out to a happy ending the way it's handled, and I really like that as well. So this is definitely one of the standout stories. I'm giving that 5 stars. And that concludes today's VEDUS update. If you liked it, you can check out more by hitting that subscribe button. You can also check out my social media I've linked below if you are so inclined. And until tomorrow, I'll see you all later.